Hi, my name is Janet. Did you know that bees play an essential role in our ecosystem and in the growth of plants like coffee? In this video, we learn about the numerous benefits of bee farming and the step-by-step process to kickstart your own journey.
My interest for bee farming started like 12 years back while I was working as a monitoring and evaluation officer. One of the most interesting projects that I saw was beekeeping. I became so eager to learn everything about beekeeping, and it has really been a very enjoyable journey. Angel Moses Kutesa are my names, a bee farmer and a CEO of Bee Farmers Group. We train people on how to keep bees. We make beehives, bee equipment, and we make the bee suits. Most people have phobia for bees, like they're dangerous, they're wild, but once you learn their behavior, that makes it unique and you live with them in harmony, and then you're able to benefit from them. Bees are the largest pollinators on earth. As your coffee beans develop, they need pollination. So if you're having bees placed around your coffee garden, there's no flower that will go unpollinated because it has a lot of nectar. We are looking at the tools used in bee farming. This is a bee smoker. We put in materials that produce smoke. The smoke disconnects the communication between the queen and the worker bees, so it makes the bees calm for you to do your work. Then the second tool is a bee brush. When you're harvesting, when you're inspecting, you use it to brush off the bees from the comb. Then we have the bee suit itself. This is basically for protection, for you to be safe, not to receive any stings from the bees. Then the gloves that we put on also to protect our hands. Bee stings cannot easily go through. We have what we call a hive tool. The hive tool is used for opening a hive because the bees seal it with gum, so you cannot just open it with bare hands. You need something strong to force it open. Someone who is starting up like an urban bee farming, I recommend that you use this kind of hive. It's called the Kenyan top bar. When you're setting it up, you need to get a very good timber. And then that timber should at least be big enough. It should be like a 12-inch width. You need to cut it in a triangle form. You need 2 triangles. The triangle, you make it like a 41 up, then down, you give it 21. We want at least timber which is 12-inch. So after getting these 2, you need a bottom. You're giving it like a 9.5. So you need 2 sides which are 87 centimeters each. That's the standard. When you're making the hive, you make sure that you avoid mostly open spaces. The more you leave open spaces in the hive, the more work you're going to give the bees to close them up and to also regulate the temperature. So we have this most important thing, which is the top bar. The standard top bar is supposed to be 48. This thing here is brought up to guide the bees that you have to build here. So we put the wax on this protruding timber. This is a stopper. Like if we put it on our hive, it does not slide off. Then now you have the cover. Give it like 93 centimeters each. Then the width, make it like 47 centimeters. This plain sheet is very good for the bees because it reflects the light and the heat is not much. So you avoid like painted sheets because sometimes they hold the heat for a long time. you come and drill holes. You choose one side in the triangle. These holes are the ones that aid in the movement of the bees, getting in and out. Make sure that these holes here are smooth, so you make sure that at least you put enough. 7 are okay, but not below 6. You can make this stand using timber, or you can use a metallic stand, and then you put in like some cups. Here we put in some sort of oil to prevent the insects from climbing this stand and reaching the hive. We don't put the hive on the ground because the ground harbors lots of insects. In a small space, you can use basically the two modern types. One of them is the Kenyan top bar and then the Langstroth. You can use car tires, pots to rear bees, and you can also use some local hives made out of papyrus. The disadvantage with these local hives, it's like they are very hard to inspect. Basically, you only go for harvest. You put in your hand and pull out. Attracting bees into the hive is baiting. We either use like a lemongrass, crush those fresh leaves and smear them. You're creating a very nice scent for the bees. Then you hang it up. In less than a month, you'll have bees inside here. Here you can also melt wax and pour in this groove here. It also attracts bees into the new hive. You ensure maximum productivity of the bees by making sure they are not disturbed by pests. So you inspect them at least once a month. Then you make sure that you feed them. They can feed on soya flour, cassava flour. Then there's also sugar water. You get 1 kilo of sugar, mix it with 3 liters of water, and then put in a drinker. They can finish this within less than 30 minutes. So at least once in a week, you can give them feeds. The signs of a healthy hive, you will see very many bees trying to fight to come in and out. The bees have a specific level they move on. So if you put it low, that means they are going to move at a lower level. So people around you will not be safe because they will be knocking people. So when they knock you, they sting you. So you make sure there's something at least above the level where people pass. Because when the bee gets out, it will fly up. You avoid all accidents. When we are harvesting honey from a top bar hive, you will find our comb built like this. Cut it off, then put it in a bucket. For the Langstroth, we pick our frame from the beehive. The bees build a comb in this space. We get our fork and remove the capping. That is the seal that the bees put to protect the honey from falling out. We put it here inside this extractor. Then we roll it. We spin out the honey. The honey is getting out of the comb and going into the tank. Then it goes through this hole into the bucket. We can harvest it like 4 times in a year. Whereas this top bar, we harvest it twice. So here, after removing this liquid, those combs that you see, we squeeze them, we boil them and sieve them, and then we get out this wax. After collecting your honey, you have to make sure it is safe. It has to be in an airtight bucket. No contamination. It should be a food grade bucket. Honey, naturally, it preserves itself. It does not have an expiry date. As long as it is natural and it's not contaminated, then it will preserve itself even for more than 100 years. The challenges I face in this business, fear for bees, and then that can be managed by the way you set up your hives and the way you handle them, what time you handle them, and then that can be solved. Have a few hives for study purposes, practice. Yeah, we have trained various groups in hive making, and some youth have also started the same business that we are doing, and they are making profit.
Thank you for watching this learning video on how to practice urban bee farming. Do you have any questions about this local income skill? Please share them in the comments and we'll be glad to give you all the answers. Bye!